Hello, welcome back to the Sloan Zone. Still rolling with that for now. No big negative comments that have made me change my mind. It's silly, but hey, I'm a little goofy, as you might see from my writing. Mostly, like I said, in that middle grade YA urban fantasy type writing that I do, I incorporate humor, of course. Silly humor. You'll see, I have a weird sense of humor. But right now I want to talk about the more serious side, which is what got me into writing and the book or books that led me to write in the first place. And that goes into Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, all those books. I'd read the first 4 of them or so, and I was waiting for the next one to come out. Very anxious, very excited, and read a few other books that I'll talk about as we go. But I was thinking, there needs to be more awesome books like this. And while I wait for them, why don't I try to write some? So I had already had a goal of writing a book before I turned 50. I was not 50, I'm still not, luckily. I hope you don't think I look 50. And so I sat down to start writing. And within, I think, a few months, I don't remember how long exactly, I had 160,000 words written. And I loved it. I fell in love with the process. I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever. Why have I not been writing fiction? I'd actually, for a little while, because I went to grad school for international relations, I had been ignoring fiction. And now I'm like, wow, that was dumb. I need to get into this hardcore. And so I started writing. I wrote Falls of Redemption. That was the first draft. It was horrible. I did various drafts throughout the years. I started from scratch at one point, kind of rewrote most of the whole thing. So yeah, a lot of writing. I did my own cover at first, realized that was stupid, and went and got somebody else to do it. But as we're talking about Game of Thrones, if you are one of my middle grade readers or just a kid watching this, you might not have read this. You might not really be ready for it based on the amount of kind of content, violence and otherwise. But it's up to you. It's up to your parents, whatever. The main point I wanted to talk about was kind of the prose and how awesome it is. Let me just read this little part here for you. I suck at reading out loud, by the way. That's my kids, but it's something to do with lack of intelligence and eye-mouth coordination, but here we go. His closely trimmed beard was shot with white, making him look older than his 35 years. He had a grim cast to his eyes this day, and he seemed not at all the man who would sit before the fire in the evening and talk softly of the age of heroes and the children of the forest. He had taken off father's face, Bran thought, and donned the face of Lord Stark of Winterfell. Isn't that awesome? I love that. Like, the whole point here is that this is from Bran, this little boy's point of view, looking up at his father, and you're seeing so many different sides of his father. You're seeing this warrior, you're seeing the man that he sees, and you're seeing it from the point of view of Bran. And it's not telling you, what kind of person this is exactly, but you get a strong sense of who this character is just from that one little passage. And the whole book is set up in this awesome way that, all the prose is great. The prologue comes out, and it's kind of like this fantasy magic prologue, and then all of a sudden you have no magic, and it's only kind of like rumors or legends of magic that a lot of people don't believe exists for a lot of pages. And that's what I love about it. They have that prologue there to make sure you know what kind of book you're about to jump into, but then it's just awesome prose, awesome characters, and a great story for a long time. And trust me, when the magic starts happening, it's also awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Justin Sloan.